All right, we are back at it again. Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, depending on when you're joining us from Cosmic here, and welcome back for more Chaos Zero Nightmare. We are just a little bit away from our newest unit that's going to be joining us. Also new season, new cards, hopefully some really cool buffs that we're going to be surprised with. But a couple of housekeeping things. I have been working in the background, which is why I just went live early. Been working in the background of updating this for the Google document, so Season 4 information is already live. And then I've been trying to work on this in the background and just need to work on this a bit more. But yeah, for those that missed it, we have like the full picture here that we are working on, and it's on Reddit and stuff, so I guess my head's kind of in the way for a couple of these, but yeah, kind of the more I thought about it is like as I'm trying to work together to build trying to build out the new infographic, if we think about our team and we think about like, okay, well, realistically we can only pick one of these options. Like either you build either like a draw god, as I'm just going to call it, or you build out the sub DPS. Because if you look at ionization, which is effectively going to be, let's just call it 5 morale for what it is, like the free 5 morale buff for things like dots that'll matter. The only way to get it and like cycle itself and be decent is with like this version of Plasma Rain. So you realize very quickly you're either choosing a all-in draw support, or you accept that ionization is going to take like 4 turns to ramp up anyways, which in the context of CZN is ungodly slow, if we're going to call it like it is. So I don't know if this is just kind of what we're going to expect going live, or if like somehow dots do enough damage and then like Arabella, who as a reminder only cares about fracture and detonating stacks of fracture. So if we're able to get 30 stacks of fracture and then in one turn Hilde is going to give us all 12 ionization because you play literal 4 plasma rains, like there's definitely a disconnect between where her kit is today versus where she will likely be good at the end of the season. And this is kind of everything I'm going to repeat in my video for tomorrow, but it feels really bad that we just cannot do a full analysis on this character because we don't know what Arabella is realistically going to do. And so if we were to compare this to the current pool of stuff, she is a upgrade to Veronica, which is like fine, but Veronica is still very good. And I'm not saying like you have to replace Veronica anytime soon. Or if you're thinking about her from a damage dealing perspective, she's worse than Adelheid, worse than Cassius, right? The fact that she's a ranger is actually a very big drawback if we factor in persona cards. So it's really, really interesting to see where she lands right now, other than like, yeah, she's good for Yuki and she can change how you build Yuki. So Yuki enjoyers are up. But beyond that, hey everybody, welcome on in. Fumu Peak, Unknowing, Soluji, everybody would come in, appreciate you. Can I please play the Anthem of Brazil so I can open up my game? No, unfortunately, shout out to VPN. I mean, I just checked. It still said we're still at 1 hour. So we're gonna hope that this stays kind of as is. Bye, good morning, good morning. Okay, but let's update this in real time before I get too far ahead of myself. But yeah, I will say, if nothing else, it's really nice that she seemingly has like 2 very clear paths of what to build for her. Like, she's a very straightforward, very simple character, which is definitely a, let me make this a little bit bigger, is definitely a bonus. Personally for me, I'm just going to be using her as a draw support. Like, something to consider is that, oops, I got to grab it anyways for a screenshot. Whoop. Like, the real thing is just this upgrade card, if it works the way the way that it should work with all the extra attacks counting individually. This is, so for those that like literally, unless you slept through all of season 3, right? We know that the 0 in effect says it's extra attacks per for each 0 in. So if this is a 30 hit strike that you just get for free, knowing how good morale is and stuff, like this is just absolutely goated and is going to do way more cumulative damage than Veronica's ballistas ever did as a support. So like, cool. The thing is that you're getting more damage out of this, but you don't, obviously you care some amount, but like you don't really care about the damage that these characters are bringing versus the amount of draw that they're providing and what that really means for the rest of your team. So we'll have to see like how much we can really abuse this effect, but it's not something that's like, you know, easily ramped up in the game currently. It's one hit. Oh, was that somewhere in the stream? I was trying to confirm, but if it's just one hit, I mean, it's dog water. Everything's awful. Then never mind. I woke up late, but I did like go back through the stream. I don't remember it being showcased anywhere. Okay, rest in peace. It's a lot worse then. But I don't think there's any other thing that you really take, right? Like, this one's good for the desire. And these hits only work with her individual hits, which don't work as a support. Yeah, unfortunately, you are still building that one. It's between these two. Sorry, you can't see them because my head's in the way, but... Let me pull it up. So, it's between these two then, because you either care about all the desire cards, or you care about, for like the extra effects, or you are just saying, hey, I'm only going to get 30, and I'm not using any of our attack cards because I'm doing all upgrades or skills anyways, so it's a free 30 without having to worry about it. G-Clef explained the difference and said it was one big hit. Okay. Yeah, I think it still doesn't fundamentally change anything other than, again, her biggest thing is not really going to be the damage for a lot of people. It's going to be the hey, we get to draw a bunch of stuff. But now that I know that, I guess I am changing my priority here. Because we have to assume that with all the desire cards, like, this will just be... whoop! Where we want to build out. She is, in fact, all ass. It's great. It's... I gotta give a shout out to Sue for the cutie with the booty, though. That one got me. That was actually really... He got me on that one, man. It was peak. Attunement works with Hugo? What do you mean exactly? Attunement works with everybody. I guess we also have to test if the homing arrows work or not, right? So this is one more thing that we have to care about, because this says that the attacks can't be used if we go for the 31, but I guess for the sake of image, we can just use the very safe upgrade, right? Am I remembering each one correctly? Fracture 1. Yeah, because Fracture is not going to matter until we get more characters. So, like, this isn't going to do as much as we might want it to do. It means if attunement activates, will it trigger commence the hunt? Oh, if you mean for homing arrow. Yeah, it should. It definitely should. I guess there's also the AoE comment, right? Because she has so much defeat-related stuff. Man, I know it's got to be for Sortie, but, like, how much defeat-related stuff they have is really killing me. I guess if we are using the harmful effects, we can just go for the 4 homing arrows instead. I do like the deck thinning, though. No, I am just gonna build this assuming that people are going to use this later on in the season. So I guess it is not correct right now, but it will be correct in the future to use the other one. So I guess I should try to future-proof this as much as possible, because I know people are gonna come back and be like, but Cosmic, you said to use this other one because we don't care about Fracture, even though we have no characters who can really benefit from Fracture right now. I'm like, yeah, man, that is what I said. Well, defeat is really good for a Sortie. Like, I get it. I think I have to remind myself that ever since, I guess Tenebria, right? Because Adelheid was more generic. Yeah, ever since Tenebria, there seems to be a very clear focus on epiphanies that you really only care about for Sortie. Which is fine, I guess, because Sortie is a major game mode for CZN, right? So you want to have people being able to engage in it. So we'll see. Should I pull for her as a Fae main? I'm not like... Again, I think the most awkward thing about this season, based on what we know and based on this information from the devs, we have to, again, it's super early. Obviously, take this with a grain of salt, but it looks like this season is going to be a repeat of Season 2, where if you are not pulling for Arabella, which, again, full disclaimer, the one thing that we will always say is you should always pull for every seasonal because they'll never be on selectors. But if you are not pulling on Arabella, you likely should skip this entire season. And that's not just because the anniversary is right after this season. It's because these characters seem to be very forced and only focus on these 3 working together. Now, there is a chance that in Season 5, we will get another Fracture payoff character that is not limited and will be able to be picked for selectors. But I don't have a crystal ball, and I can't tell you guys that Smilegate is going to fix, in my opinion, that I got my ass eaten up from Twitter and my YouTube video that everyone wanted to dogpile on me about it, that I am very strongly against having a limited character that cannot be picked from selectors that is entirely gatekeeping a playstyle in the game. This is not just another multi-hit character. This is not just another big AoE nuke character. Many of us have been waiting for a dot team since literally 1.0, 9 months at this point, and Smilegate is like, look, sorry, if you miss out on these 3 weeks that she will be available, you are just shit out of luck. So, look, maybe I'm being a little harsh on that. Maybe Smilegate is going to fix everything in Season 5 and everyone's happy, hunky-dory, whatever. But at least at face value, I hate this. I will continue to be very vocal about this. And again, for me, as someone who's in the creator program, I get free crystals, bro. I pull for everyone. It's not about me. Like, it's not just me that is complaining about this. It is a fundamental game design choice that I will not agree nor defend. And honestly, if you're defending it, because a lot of other people have basically just told me to suck it up, it's gotchas, fuck that, man. And you guys know I don't swear that much, but honestly, fuck that. I'm not going to sit here and just glaze Smilegate for making such a predatory decision. Anyways, small rant over. Yeah, Smilegate does a great job at listening. And I know that my ranting has gotten enough eyes on it at this point, but yeah, we will see. Okay, let's actually finish some of these. Ionization. That's the other thing I will say, like, I understand that she's gonna have a +1 draw off draw and release to help smooth out your draws. So there is a world where you could actually pick out some of these other ones to cut off a turn, right? Because if you assume that you draw this is worth 4 ionization, which means that it ramps up in 3 turns versus this one that is worth it in 4 turns. But like the more I like think about this and read into it, honestly, I'm just gonna take the draw 1 as the quality of life pick. So if you have enough draw on your team and enough consistency, yeah, I think 1 and 4 here are very good options. But I think for just like what's going to be the better pick 70% of the time because of how many teams it can fit into, yeah, Plasma Rain 2 is going to be the way to go. So if there isn't a Nexus upgrade in Season 4, we're always just hunting for it on her. Yeah, it's the same thing like Magna and stuff, right? Where it's like, you want all of your lead trinket, which also, to be fair, I'm going to assume there's a new Nexus trinket. For how lead-focused her kit seems to be, there has to be something. Yeah, Plasma Rain... that's why I really like this one, because it does work. It's also piercing damage, so that one seems like a little bit of a red flag to me, that it's just a... It feels like there's going to be a reason why that has piercing in the future, but it also gives you 3 ionization versus the 2 in some of the other... or sorry, the other ones that like just don't add anything. But yeah, so this will be like Rita for exhaust, Typhera, Tressa technically for daggers exhausting, like any exhaust related stuff will reduce that cost. Don't ask me about Olga, man. I already did my crash out. She is just better Veronica. So, yes-ish. Like, the biggest thing for me is that even if their damage ends up being similar, which I have to test if it is or isn't, the fact that Hilde doesn't take the 1 card slot out of your hand like Veronica's Ballista, while might not seem like as big of a deal, the fact that she just gets the free damage while giving you your full hand size, I think alone is a nod to Hilde here being better than Veronica. But otherwise, if you're using both of them for the draw 2 effect, right, which is where Veronica fit, you never cared about Veronica's damage. You just cared about the fact that she gave you a bunch of extra draw, while also the Ballista being good for things like Chaos or Sortie, right? So if it's just the draw effect that is going to be the main focus, then like there's not really a reason why you're pulling for this character, right? Assuming you have Veronica. That's kind of like the one downside about it. Made that a little too big. What card are we missing? Oh, draw and release. I did these in a weird order, man. Wait, no, draw and release is the first. Wait, what am I missing? No, that is 4. Oh, I guess technically you also have to cut Vortex Arrow if you're using the 30-0 in. Why did I... Oh, right, because Faye had the one... Okay, yeah, hold on. I know why this looks wrong. This looks wrong because she had the unique copy effect. There we go. This is now... Okay, this now looks more correct. I remember. We had to like move stuff over for what's her name? Okay, yeah, that's fine. Is she worth the extra E1? Honestly, I forget her E1 at the point at this top of my head. Like, look, the longer I support CZN, I realize that like I might just be an outlier of a creator in how I approach things, because I like to keep things at a E0 level, because if you're going to wail on something, I know my opinion doesn't matter. Like, if you love a character, you're going to E6 her. It's kind of whatever. Where it's like a lot of the value of these kits become at E2. So then it becomes down to like, okay, do you use your Omega code for that or something, right? So it's like, I always feel weird being like, oh my God, this E2 is so busted. Yeah, sort of thing. But actually, do I still have that image? I don't think I do. No, I already deleted her. I already deleted her images. Oopsies. Oh yeah, what is this? 500 versus 480 damage wise, right? Versus the fracture. Again, I think if we are just, I like have to over shill this, I feel like, because we're in a spot where we know that the dots are going to be more relevant later on in the season. So if people are going to build her in advance of Arabella, I probably have to put all the builds that go with her and not how I would actually build her today, I guess. It's a weird thing to, kind of a weird situation to be in. Do I think Hilde is a better Veronica? I mean, yes. Just flat out. Flat out, yes. Also, what, I just remembered, this is only AP cost reduction, right? They're all one-cost skills. Hold on. I guess we'll have to... Unfortunately, the website is not updated yet. Yep. Who has a one-cost skill, man? Yeah, I guess it's still going to be cost reduction, right? Maybe I'll put this as like a reminder on here too. Nah. Kind of like running out of space now. I think I'd rather have the dead space. Is it worth having the sensory overload? Which one is that? Is it worth having over the 4 copies of draw? Oh, so keep in mind, sorry, you meant the desire card. Keep in mind, desire cards cost 0. So, like... Alright, full... Okay, so... Sorry, I'm like PTSD flashback of season 3. Alright, guys. Keep in mind, as a reminder, the 4th divine plus copy is stupid expensive in this game. Very rarely is it correct to full copy 4 divines for a deck, because you get better value out of having a neutral or divine placed elsewhere. So desires being free kind of is irrelevant. Like, obviously, coming from the 20 points of personas, you go like, oh, it's an upgrade. Everyone's happy. Big deal, right? But I hope people don't fall into the same traps of trying to max out divine cards again. Now, again, there are going to be some cases where it's relevant, right? There are going to be some cases. Serenial is like a good one that you want to just have her homing lasers more often than not because they're going to loop back and because you get double the value out of the divine cost compared to a one and done style of card, right? So there are characters who do benefit from having a full copy divined out deck. However, with how, especially with like Veronica, where you don't need the extra draw, you're better off putting in more things like the explosions of emotions that we just had in the previous season, for example, because it gave you 3 morale, which now with the morale cap, obviously we have to factor that in too. So it's not, the desire cards themselves aren't really changing how we are building decks. It's more of where were we before persona cards, right? I guess is what we would say. So, it's kind of funny because if we go back to, oh, where is that video? God, it was season 2, right? Yeah, so just as a relevant video, if you don't know what I mean from a deck building perspective of why the 4th divine or 4th copy is often, or the 3rd copy for the 4th card is always so bad, I have a full video like breaking down deck building, breaking down why you want to treat cards as a +0, a +1, talking about cards that don't cycle themselves, and just more of like deck building philosophy, right? I did have a full video 5 months ago at this point, but yeah, season 3 was kind of an outlier because persona cards already were so absurdly busted, like everyone was dropping the 4th divine. Reminder, you gotta make the funny fixes Yuki deck for clickbait. Oh shit, you are so right. Yeah, thank you. I forgot. If that was you from the last season, thank you, because that was like the only video that did well last season. Which like is what it is. Which I love how somebody tried calling me out for the clickbait when the reality is like, y'all, this ain't paying my bills. However I feel about a patch or an update or news, I'm gonna be honest about it. I'm sorry. Again, I'm not sitting here to get paid by people. I'm sitting here because I enjoy covering the game. I enjoy deck builders, and I want to have fun with it. So if I ever disagree with the choice or where the direction the devs are going in, yeah, I'm going to make that video. I'm not going to sit here and needlessly drama farm. Like, I didn't make a video about the CEO leaving, like a lot of other people have, but the normal stuff that impacts the game, yeah, I'm going to talk about it. Okay, let me finish at least this one. Oh, I totally forgot. Wait, why does this one have... I just realized there's 2 different versions of this, but... like, you always want to trigger the attunement if Fracture is going to be relevant, right? Why is there a random F? Plasma Rain, what do we got? Oh, right, if we're doing Plasma Rain, we have to do the attunement one because that's the whole thing that we're putting together. Whoop. Right, this entire thing is maximize Fracture, maximize the amount of 0-ins that we can generate per turn. Oh, I'm dumb. I totally missed the 2-cost draw and response earlier. Obviously, that's what you do with the grand arrow. Okay, is our third build going to be... Okay, hold on. Is our third build one-hit nuke, or is our third build AoE? Because she does have quite a bit. Draw 1 attack cards of this season. Because, like, Plasma Rain is so crazy for AoE damage. Big bonk arrow. But we're going to be Bug Planet, right? AoE is already on Fracture. Yeah, I guess it comes down to, like, how much AoE are we able to clear, or do we need the AoE because the boss is going to, like, keep re-spamming ads or something, right? Nah, maybe we'll do... I guess maybe we'll do Big Bonk. Because, right, then we have to give up Fracture. If this is basically an AoE build, right? Because you want to use Plasma Rain that has AoE. This has some amount of AoE. I think we just do Big Bonk. Big Bonk arrow. I think that's fine. Y'all are right. Where are we at? Plasma Rain? What was I doing? Plasma Rain. All right, the draw, because we want to be able to increase the damage. God, I just realized how much AP is that? Holy shit. I guess for our Divine... Or I guess Draw and Release has lead at least. And Plasma Rain. I think... Y'all, it is already so late for me. Let's please not jinx anything at this point. Yeah, I think this is looking pretty costly, all things considered. So I think we just have to... I think we have to accept that we need the cost reduction. Desire cards. What do we have? Boy, howdy. Agony or Scorch, so it does not work for her. Will have a lot of harmful effects, I guess. Sever Ties is only Striker Vanguard. I crashed out about that yesterday. Yo, hey G-Clef. I appreciate you, brother. Yeah, look, I have made many a comments about this season, so I'm really hoping to be... Look, I know it's not on you. I said early on to hopefully send people from the stream a lot of love, kind of where things are at, but man, it is it's kind of rough where things are at with how much of a power creep that we are needing to have. Yeah, I do appreciate you taking the time out of the day to stop by the stream and say as much, right? No matter what, I'm excited personally because I have been asking for a damage over time season since 1.0. So, like, no matter what, I am happy with this season because I finally get the teams that I want to be playing. Because I also understand that, like, going past this season... they'll probably have some other ways to make dot characters relevant, so I will always have a dot team that I can build out going forward. But I also recognize that I'm very privileged to be in the content creator program where I can just get every character easily. So it's more about fighting for the greater justice of the build guide or just how flexible some of these are, right? Like, we don't have counterattack support. We don't have OTK support. Like, Personas were so good at boosting the entire roster, where this one feels very, very limited by comparison. Boy, I hate to say it, but I think it is just the... I think it is the meme of we're back on sample collection again. Which, all things considered, we want claim and inquiry. So, like, these are, for the sake of the conversation of we are trying to activate the effects, both of these cards do work with her kit. We didn't get equipment previews though, right? From season 3. At least I don't remember about it. And I could be wrong. I'm too lazy to go back to that video. And I know I just said there was no OTK support, but oh shit, right. This is so I deleted my image already, but technically this means knowledge addiction would be good for that one. So I'll have to edit this one in for the big bonk. Like, notably, sure, this is meant to be for multi-hitters, but if we're looking for... If this looks like it is a multiplicative boost, right? Then these become our... We are making a pseudo OTK... Trying to make an OTK character. Man, for each card drawn through an ability, though... So that means we have to have a 15-card deck. 15-card deck after upgrades. I mean, like, I guess, right? Man. All right, well. So the thing I hate about this the most is that it's really hard for me to lose 2 hours like this and then still do the video that I want to do, because I do have work tomorrow, right? Oh man. Yeah, doing our best to stay hydrated. Well, yeah, the nightmare is ongoing as it says, right? So I guess we'll be doing some be doing some Grand Blue Fantasy dailies while we're waiting for this. But I do want to finish this infographic, at least based on what we know, and then we'll play some Grand Blue Fantasy, I guess. But yeah, I did not sleep well last night because we had a big spider scare. And for those that know and are pretty much regulars around here, Bree cannot sleep if there is a spider. So she did not sleep, which means I did not sleep well. And then I passed out after work, and because I did not sleep, I actually fell asleep for like 4.5 hours, which is way longer than I wanted to sleep for. So unfortunately, I am awake, and we are... I am awake, and we are here. Red Bull is delicious, though. But yes, the timer did get increased, which, I mean... Well, I guess we could add a little, Oop. There we go. Wrong. I was on the wrong tab. There we go. I ain't leaving until the infographic is made for Yuki. I mean, sure, we can do that as well. Like, the whole thing about Yuki is you can just build inspiration instead, right? Which is better. I have to, like, remember all of her percentages again. Because, right, like, the whole issue is that all of us were trying to use this to, like, maximize out on, like, the morale and then increase damage or whatever, or cost decrease if you make it 0, whatever. So, like, the whole thing was that you were like, okay, well, I can do 220, I can stack morale, whatever, right? Well, now with the morale cap and understanding that you're still going to have Cassius, the cool thing that you can do is we can now just build Trickery Strike, right? We can now just make this a 200 times 2. Which, as we know, for like a multi-hitting application is going to be really good. The thing is, I don't remember what divines we have. Oh, sure. I guess always get vulnerable too. Yeah, I guess the rest of these are pretty terrible. Yeah, so anyways, I mean, like, you can now build this instead because of... Where is it? Like, her whole thing is, and keep in mind, you only need one of these, because with Cassius and with the other draw stuff, your end of turn is going to be 4 Trickery Strikes in your hand, cycle them back with this, immediately trigger all 4, and have the maximum damage that Yuki can do. So it's like, she's just great because she gives us damage amp, she gives you the extra draw that you're going to need anyways, and then she has the oops, I can fix everything with Yuki and guarantee that you trigger all inspiration without having to run things like Trickery Strike to give you the inspiration otherwise, which I know people have done. So there is a world where technically we now are able to do a completely different build for Yuki that should give us more damage. It's kind of like the same thing with Haru and Narja with the anchor spam. Being able to be loopable now and not needing E2 Haru. Now, this is obviously baked into her kit and kind of where things are at, but you know, we now have all the negatives that we had with Iceberg Cleave that couldn't get a divine, couldn't get cost reductions, what have you. All of that is now resolved because we can just do Trickery Strike instead. So like, just for the sake of... And honestly, you probably still care about this giving you 3 morale because even with Cassius, what do we say? Cassius is like, what, 15 morale in Season 4? Or wait, no, the Persona card would be better anyways. Never mind, you're still using Season 3 Cassius because multi-hit. Cassius, I think, is 12 morale, so this gives us 15. So with some upgrades, sure, right? You would get what you need. So this is vulnerable. We do this. Oh my god, why did it just delete her card? Iceberg Cleave you can just keep in because why not? I forget which one gives the most damage, man. Yeah, you use this one because now it's a permanent damage boost. God dang it. Sorry. Because I know people are going to ask about Yuki, so I probably should just build this properly and have it in my back pocket. Morale. Vulnerable. Oh god, I don't remember. We assume that we care more about the boss damage, right? Because this is 160 all versus 120. You're doing enough AoE damage, bro. Like, I guess, okay, so that is like the one... let me take a step back. Single target Yuki versus AoE Yuki, right? I guess if we're being fair, that is the one thing that we do care about. So I guess with that in mind, maybe we do actually use the AoE version for this. Because this should kill enough of the ads. But I'm going to assume that we're all in on single target damage. 1, 2, 3. That is too many. Boop. What neutrals do we have again for... Oh, right. She's gonna want the new Desire card. But I guess that's not a point thing. So, sure. She's a striker, so she uses the new Persona card that we talked about. But I don't think there's a good other neutral, right? Am I crazy? Remember when we used to use Pulverize? I remember. Those were good times. Oh, I guess we have a, Monster cards are 20/40, right? No, 50, damn. Okay, so we can only use a gray monster card. I mean, 50 times 4 is still really good, right? If we are all in on the multi-hit style, congrats, there's 2 more. Like, again, I have to caution that the monster cards are a bit difficult because they're a lot harder to target. But just showing, like, you could do something like this, right? Where it's like, oh, I get the agony, I get the 2 morale, and that could be really good. But I don't ever like recommending monster cards just because of how difficult they are to find. Oh, wait, why are... Oh, I guess these were... Sorry, these were marked earlier, so yeah, of course they're in here. Okay, where is the striker card? Where is... Yep, Sever Ties. So again, the big question here is that we need to get the... we need to get harmful effects on the opponent. Yeah, you're going to need some type of AP generation for all this still. On God, I kind of forgot how bad striker neutrals were. I love how this is going to be egg on my face. Like, okay, in a perfect world, you're probably supposed to do something like Iron Wall just so you can get... This is so stupid. Where'd it go? Right? You're probably supposed to do something like this just so you can take the Morale Divine here to give you more damage. Because this will give you the extra morale that's necessary to cap out for the 20 stack with Cassius. But this might be one of those times where, like, the 4th Divine might make the most sense just because you can't get this consistently. So this is, again, one of those times where it's like, you really do wish you had the Persona card. Like, you have 20 points here that just aren't great. So then you do like, okay, here's another morale. So we can get our morale split this way instead, right? Or if we try to copy this, we go 20 points over. Also, something to be said about the last copy event is usually pretty difficult to get. So, like, there's so many things that... Yeah, Sever Ties is really good for Vanguard. Not Vanguards, for Strikers. Sorry, it's a Striker Vanguard card. But we can't... This is kind of the problem in a nutshell. Like, we're not able to really maximize on this. I guess so. How do we change her? I mean, the AoE build is, with the morale changes, AoE is still going to be, Iceberg, right? Is still technically better with all the changes. I totally forgot what the other modes are for this one. Oh, no, I forgot, yeah. I forgot about the cost, but she does have a add 1 hit. God, that is so rough, though. What is it? 220 versus 180, right? Sure, man. Yeah, again, all things considered, I really do love that thanks to the changes and kind of the direction of Hilde with that one single card, we have a completely new Yuki build that is available. But I'm going to keep this one in my back pocket for when people ask. Oh, let me get my stupid symbol off there. Let me take a better screenshot really quick. Uh, 140 points. Is Sever Ties affect all allies? No, it doesn't have the text preview, so I assume that the green text preview, so I assume that it's only for that character. But also again, guys, huge red flag for those that missed the crash out yesterday. The biggest difficulty with oh, my head's in the way. The biggest difficulty around Sever Ties is that it's currently not a global buff based on what we were able to test. They might change it for the live, but right now, no. But then also, it's only a Striker Vanguard, as I have up here. So this being extremely limited, we're not able to give it to everyone. So like, your Persona cards in terms of buffs are limited to these 3 options. And even in these, it's kind of difficult on where we're really focusing these. So a lot of this is going to change based on where the changes, like the actual balancing changes, come from Season 4. But Season 4 is a lot more restrictive in deck building than what we had for Persona cards. So that's where a lot of my personal frustration was coming from, or is coming from, I guess I should say. But again, some of that might change once we see how they updated some of this. Also, I guess the big question is, like, is there any other character that can really utilize this? Because I think it could be, I guess it's good for Swordy too. Because also, I guess to be fair, this doesn't say, it doesn't have the, oh, dude, what is that Ranger card? The one that draws a card and says, put the card back on top of deck, whatever it's called. This card is missing the phrasing of place on top of deck. So if you're opening turn and if you have 10 cards left in deck, I'm assuming that you're going to shuffle 4 cards back in and draw 4 new cards. That would actually be pretty helpful in Swordy, right? There are some situations that you really do care about, oh shit, my hand is really bad, I need some type of mulligan. That could be good for Swordy. So this is another one of those things where I think it was more designed for helping people get through Swordy, but it just so happens that we have Yuki who can really benefit from this. It would be decent with that 1-2-man card that gains a hit permanently. I thought it was only... Are you talking about the lizard card? Oh, I can't look it up. Or I guess it is on... What's the lizard card called again? Oh, wait, it wasn't a forbidden. It was a neutral. My bad. No, it was a forbidden card, wasn't it? Yeah, you, lizard. Oh, shit, it is a permanent. Wait, is that really how that works? I, for some reason, always thought that, No, because Inspiration would only... You'd have to, like, trigger it multiple times, right? This one is plus a hit, though. And what's up, WG? Hold on, if we ignore cost, isn't this just better than her own basic cards? So what? This is a 6 hit. 120 by 6. That's kind of funny, actually. Yeah, I think this one is going to be limited. I never tested this with precision. Also, whoever said precision aim earlier, thank you. Like, I think this one is not... we're not able to, like, cheat this one as much as I would like. It would be a really funny, like, multi-hit OTK thing, but the attunement one that for the virus, because we can make this a 6-hit, is actually really, really good. Because also keep in mind, right, we probably have enough cards anyways to make it work, but she does have a on-hit 3-0 in. So we should be able to get 0 in to 60 stacks quite quickly if we want to build it out that way. But I mean, how many hits are we doing realistically before I gotta actually finish this last one before I forget. Because each of these are 3, right? Yeah, because each one hits once. So this is 3 hits. That just gives more. Or no, we're using the activation anyway. So that'd be 3. So that'd be 6. That'd be 12. This would be 13. Yeah, that's not really giving us a lot of 0 in, isn't it? I guess you don't care, right? Like, the 0 in is not really the big draw for her, all things considered. Can allies gain 0 in for her? No, unless they change something. The only one that works is if you have the attunement. So the attunement has the weird green text thing. Like, the way to tell is if the text is green like this, it means it works for the whole team. If it's grayed out like the first half, it means only she gets that buff. So that is the other reason why I have this one listed, because it should be... It not only gives her more because of how her kit works, it should give you more on hit for the rest of the team. Or sorry, more attunement for more 0-ins to get more hits for the rest of the team. It's hard to say exactly what type of focus we're going to see for encounters, because it is the Bug Planet upgraded, which was all AoE, going back to like Kalipe in Season 1, or pre-Season 1, I guess. But we don't know where that's going to land yet. Didn't G-Clef mention she's... Oh, he did mention Moonslash. No, you're right. Wait, why are they not green then? We'll have to figure out when it goes live. Like, this could just be a card text error, which is not the first time it's happened. Let's be so for real. Oh, man of the hour. G-Clef, does on-hit work for the entire team for a big game ranger? Because it does not have the green text, meaning it would normally work how other upgrades work. At 1:14, the live streams, you can see Yuki getting... Okay. In stream and showcase? Okay, cool. Good. Again, that doesn't fundamentally change anything about which ones we're selecting in the bigger picture, but that means that the card text is wrong.
Hello?
Hey, how's it going, G-Clef?
So what was the question? I didn't quite get it.
So, it looks like people have confirmed in the chat as well, but Big Game Ranger, so her upgrade card says on hit, gain 2, 0 in. However, as upgrade cards are usually templatized in CZN, they only work for the entire team if they're if the green text is highlighted, meaning that the effect was changed. But so I'm guessing here that the on hit effect is treated at base as a global effect.
Yeah, on hit was for everyone on the team, from what I tested.
Okay.
So if anyone else hits any other target, like Chizuru hits 2 with Moonslash, then from the card in the middle, 2-0 in, and it's a double, so you get 4 stacks of 0 in, just like that.
Cool.
Yeah. So any type of hits you're actually get, like literally hits on the target, you're getting the stacks as an upgrade.
So I guess to expand on that, is it also going to count for things like coordinated attacks?
Coordinated attacks? You mean like counter attacks? Or counter attacks did count from what I tested.
Yeah. So any type of this, I'm just having flashbacks to season 3 and testing all this stuff. So like, if it's purely on hit and it's not coded as attack cards, right? We would then assume like Selena would be really good like this. Heidi Mari doing like the multiple activations would count and be really good. Or sorry, Selena's extra attacks, counter attacks off Magna, things of that nature. But yeah, no, that's
most of the hits, most of the technical hits that you are hitting on the monster did count. But there were some instances where the extra attack from discard, like Quietus discard worked, but the extra attacks from Quietus did not count. I wonder if that was patched yesterday or not. When I tested, it was 2 days ago now in Korean time. So, but from what I understood, I asked the developers, and then they said literally on hit, like on like with the target animation. If you see them getting hit, then it should be stacks with 0 in. So that's as far as I understood, and on the entire team. So that should be clear.
Okay. Yeah, so that's one of those things where like I just want to know how it's coded in the UI. But that makes sense.
Yeah, and as they already had this card made a while ago. So as they go through the wording organization with the entire game, this should also be within those patches later on. So it's unified. So for clarity of all the meanings in the future.
Yep, no, I appreciate that as well. I know that that's part of the larger rework, that with the first part coming in August, and then the one after that, whatever the 3 weeks after would be.
Yeah, that will take like a few months, but it's coming. So after late September and October, CZN will finally be a card game, from what we know, and the card game that you love so much, Cosmic. Okay.
Yeah, thank you. No, I'm not sure if just the number of like bug reports and templating things that I reported in season 3. I just expect, look, it's a new season, new cards get tested, all that stuff. Like, I'm sure that there'll be more to report out on. So I'm just trying to get ahead of like, if something was already tested, I can cross one thing off my list, so to speak.
Yeah, so the first they have to get everything done in Korean, right? That's the original game language, and the coding, and then the localization into English and Japanese, which also has some like minor problems. More of English on the side, localization. So that all has to combine together. So that's why it's gonna take like months of time to redo all that.
Yep.
But it should be done. And I told the director that English has so much problem from the beginning. It's not even funny how you just cannot understand until you test out so many things. Even if you test it out, sometimes it's different depending on the character, and we just don't know how the math goes, right? So we will have better idea very soon. So
no, I appreciate it. And also I want to give a shout out to Judge just for the sake of the stream. I know he's been doing like a lot of the math crunching and like going back and re-verifying how some things work, but there's just a lot to, lots of new things to test that we will figure out.
Yeah, shout out to everyone like who has been having websites for all the builds, the math. Shout out to you, Cosmic. Shout out to all the creators. The WG, I saw you in chat for uploading literally like minutes after the
Yeah.
stream. And Cosmic, especially you for making the graphics all the time on Reddit. I appreciate that a lot. And the director does check Reddit and also a lot of YouTube, from what I always know. So, thanks everyone for your efforts. I just wanted to say that, and now I'll get going. Bye.
Thank you so much, G Clef. Have a good one, brother.
Sure. You can call me anytime. Bye.
Bye bye. Okay, I had Discord up on the side. Oh, why did I? Okay, there we go. But yeah, shout out to G Clef. So yeah, I guess the bigger question comes back to the AoE focus, right? But hold on, is it lowest HP? Now I forget. Highest HP. Okay, so it'll always hit the boss at least, so that's really good too. Yeah, that's fine. I guess we can just assume Great Rift is gonna be like the slime boss then that spawned the ads that you have to kill. I don't know what he actually was. I'm just gonna call him a big pile of slime. You get 1 stack for... Okay. Where are we? Where do we leave off? Are we changing any of these? Fracture. Attunement is still going to be ideal then. Yeah, so I think that is... I guess there's no real issue. Like, you can pick either the on-hit 3 or the 2-2 split, right? One is going to gain you 4 versus if you have more... how deep you are in attunement, I guess, is the question. Or, like, what your sub-team is going to be. No, I guess... I'm torn because if we assume AoE, then you always want the higher base on hit, right? If we assume that it's going to be more single target boss design, then you want the extra ones from attunement. So actually, I am going to change this. So much of this build is already AoE by design that I think you just accept that that is where she will shine until we know how her kit is going to be changed for Arabella, however you say it. I would just call her Bella. Yeah, drawing the cards, drawing that seems fine. Cool. I guess this one's awkward though because we don't 500. We don't really want to copy the higher quick reload, right? We just want to see how much. Oh, I guess it doesn't stack, right? What other card has this wording? How is Event Horizon worded again? That's the only other card that I can think of. Oh no, Event Horizon does not have the limit on the card. Okay, Damn, how does this scale then? That's actually super interesting. Like, obviously the goal here is to draw 10 cards. It gives you 300% max. But does that... Surely that caps out, right? I guess this is another random thing that I want to test because that would just be cheeky. But what is 2-cost Divine? Who has a 2-cost skill? No, 9 is a 3-cost skill. Rita probably has 2-cost something, right? I kind of forgot how bad 2-cost Divines are. Ooh, Oh, but if we're mixing this with Typhera, we don't care about the AP cost, right? We're gonna generate infinite AP anyways. So we're gonna need plus 6 draw to 1-turn cycle everything. Event Horizon is going to be a plus 1 the majority of the time. Damn. Where is my... Hold on. Now, again, I know they capped Orlea anyways, so I know some people are going to be upset about that and not... Where is it? Not be as relevant. Oh, it is this one. Yeah, because Quantum Seeds themselves are a +0. Event Horizon is a +1. You can't do Cassius for Full House because you're going to want... Oh, yeah, this is awkward. I don't know what your third teammate is then. I mean, I guess it's the same thing, right? We did the draw 1 across the board. 2, 4, 6. Oh, wait, but hers were all linked. Duh. That's why. Because you only have to pay for one of these, right? Because they all get linked together. You don't actually have to pay out the total 8 AP. Honestly, it's been a minute since I played Typhera. I do not remember how much AP that she generates off the top of my head. But we have to run Draw Divine on it then, if we're going to try to capitalize on this. Okay, I will have to test this, but this is either... Is there any other way to build this? No, right? Nope. Yeah, okay. We are just going to... Look, I know a tale as old as time. You know, Cosmic forcing an OTK build, but here we are. I am once again going to force an OTK build every season until somebody stops me. The downside here is that it's also extra attack, so I don't have good memory fragments. I mean, I guess we're all farming the new set anyways, right? So maybe it's a new opportunity for us to shine. Just get 4 arrows like a big boy. Yeah, if we just want to do big chunky hits, could also work. Okay, get rid of that. Right, it's got to be... Ah, shit, I deleted it already. I'll have to... Nope, not that one. Not that one. I'll have to fix this after, once I have the proper image. So that's what I don't remember. I couldn't remember off the top of my head what other card is worded like this, because the 300% is referencing the draw on the card. I don't know if that's 300% in the tooltip. Again, like I got super burned out testing shit in season 3. Like, I have just forgotten how shit works at this point. I'm gonna be super honest with y'all. For those that were here and watched me struggle through all that, like, I have just forgot now at this point how the hell some of this stuff is worded on card versus what the actual tooltip is going to say. Typhera card and the one that amps and shields. I mean, somebody else in chat, keep me honest too. Like, what other card is similar? Because I will probably remember me testing something else. Because I'm definitely, this is not one of the first times that we've seen it. Did you mean C and D? Because this one does say max 4 times. Because, like, Event Horizon, for example, doesn't have any limits. And I guess we'll have to see how they change, Softy. Oh, yeah, Triangle. Oh, shit, we can't see... How do we see generated cards, I guess, on this? No, Triangle does actually max reference it, right? Yeah, so I guess it probably doesn't stack then. Dang. I guess we just take the draw then, right? So we can consistently get through our deck. And, like, we build up the ionization over several turns, because you're never going to get an OTK on the first turn to do, like, funny meme numbers. We just don't have a good copy target then, right? Because, okay, so on one hand, obviously, we can just copy the draw 2, thin out our deck, everything is fine, everyone's happy. But if we also just thin out the deck enough, we don't need the extra draw, right? Like, we did the 7-card support deck, was it? Where we had, like, the overdraw problem. For anyone that missed our tower video. I guess I already closed out of it. I already closed out of it. Right, because the whole thing with Narja and her one attack that moves to hand every turn, that's automatically 4 cards that get out of your deck that you don't have to account for drawing anymore, so there isn't as much of a priority in getting your +1 or +2 draws in the game if we are able to get all that, right? Like, the big selling point, at least right now, for Inquiry is going to be the draw 3 of this unit, especially now that it's going to be a 0 cost. But the reality is, like, that's not something that we've really needed in the game based on the draw supports that we've currently had. And especially with Hilde, if she is going to give us the +1 draw, or I guess, sorry, she's going to give us +4 draw with her entire kit, it's not really important to have that big payoff, so... And again, we don't care about 440% damage. Like, it's free, great, but your Persona cards are going to have, you know, 80% more damage, or not 80%, 4 times the base damage of the Desire cards based on the multi-hits, which then only gets amplified by the fact that now Hilde is a multi-hit AoE character, meaning the Persona cards get even more value than the anticipated value. Yeah, anyways, I'm not going to rant on all that again. So we're kind of stuck in kind of where we want to be taking this. And also, obligatory comment, you cannot copy the Desire cards, so we also can't, like, copy Knowledge Addiction, right? So our actual amps are just, we're back to we are probably just back to big bonk and drawing extra cards. Actually, does Grand cycle itself? I forget. Okay, yeah, Grand does cycle itself, so there's no real drawback. I mean, the drawback is obviously it's not as good for your morale buffs and stuff, where the AoE is going to give you more value because it's 500 times 1 versus however many characters and how many buffs you have. It's a lot easier to have Fracture do significantly more damage, and that's before we even factor in the dot as well. But that is going to be all of hey, how many ads are we fighting at the same time? So it will be fight dependent. Let me actually line these up because now this is going to kill me. So draw and release this one, and then what's our big game ranger, I guess? I mean, we're not doing on hit, so I guess the only choice here is the debuff one. So sure, I guess. I mean, yeah, so when I do a showcase, this will probably be the first deck we do, just because it'll be the easy deck to go meme with, but I definitely don't think it's something that we are excited to build with otherwise. Something like that. Whoop. And then, yeah, we'll have this little fragment of a guy hanging out until we get the rest of the stuff. Yeah, we have another hour and a half. Yeah, hour and a half is when it's going to be up. But yeah, I always try to do a fun build that, is not necessarily ever going to be meta, but allows you to just have a different play expression with the character. So the big bonk arrow is definitely the don't actually build this until you finish the other builds sort of thing. But I would assume that we're going to have 90% of people who are going to be building her as just a pure draw support, to round out the rest of the teams this season. And then the sub DPS one, I will admit is interesting, but that's more of a, does this matter for Arabella, or do we just care about Olga based on, again, this image where it says that she can solo stack up the debuffs that Arabella is going to really care about. So Fracture being at 30? Yeah, Fracture being at 30 is the big thing to figure out. Oh. Do I have a screenshot of how much resources? Somewhere. Yep, there we go. May I present to you this image? Also, I did change the gold cost. I think it was. Shout out to Reddit that gave me a new calculator for it. No, so this does not count things like maxing out basics. This is just for the unique node, which is important. Obviously, maxing out their crit chance and crit damage nodes, and the final potential node. Or wait, and the divine node. I'm pretty sure that was the other one that was added in here. That was the weekly boss materials. I do not have a partner one. I forgot to make it. Forgot to / just ran out of time. Oh yeah, how many stacks was Scorched again? Oh no, Scorched was only 10, right? Bro, there's so many random ass limits I have to remember now. I can't wait to see how they fix desire control, man. I'm just really hoping the new survivalist or whatever it's called, which based on the name, I'm assuming it's going to be Vanguards, which to be fair is probably going to fix one of my biggest gripes about the preseason preview. So fingers crossed we see, you know, Vanguards getting their flowers in an hour and a half. But man, I don't know. Like, I keep going back to how insanely busted Claim and Inquiry already are for everything. Like, control is just so not great, man. Do I have an ETI on the first anniversary? When season 5 starts. Oh wait, Selena is who else gives a lot of free multi-hits other than like Trusted Daggers, I guess? Man, I want to do silly stuff with like Luke and going back to his no, not this one. Or no, it was this one, right? Oh, I guess this is another interest, because doesn't this count for everybody and this is the one that only counts bullets? I gotta go back and test Luke again. Yeah, Sardinal homing lasers would work too. I'm just trying to, like, the big question for me is how much do we actually care about Zero In? Because I feel like Zero In is going to be, like, you know, you have the really cool turns where Veronica does 4,000 damage with her ballistas and it, like, randomly kills the enemy for you. And like, oh, this was great, thank you. But Zero In does seem like it's going to have a higher ceiling for damage, but it's going to take a bit more work to get up to 60. The fact that it always hits the highest HP, though, is really, really nice. So it's always going to hit the thing that you want it to hit by comparison. Also, I forgot I got to remove all these now. Doot, doot. Yeah, I think, again, as someone who has been playing, like, a lot of Tressa, or other cards that, or other characters that just fill your hand up with nonsense, the fact that we now have a character who gives us all the draw power of Veronica with none of her downsides is a huge bonus. Same draw as Veronica, most likely more damage. Also is a buffer. What else am I forgetting? Like, I think in the bigger picture, unless you're like some tryhard sweat ranker on Great Rift, you probably don't care if you have Veronica already, all things considered. But for those that maybe missed out on our selectors and need a draw support, this is such a good banner, or like a good character to pick up. More like Hugo? Yeah, sure. I mean, that's fine. However you want to quantify a draw 2 benefit character, right? Because, like, Quick Fix becomes the draw 2 cost 0 as well. Like, the real power creep in this game is going to be a draw 2 period, gain 1 AP type of character, right? That's how you, like, throw Mika and Veronica into a blender and get a new character, which I am absolutely not advocating for, but kind of the direction that we would need to go in. Can she beat Veronica draw 3? I mean, don't forget about her just straight up Vortex Arrow, which also is going to give you, like, obviously, this does limit how much we can do the 30-0 in Big Game Ranger. Actually, did I already change that for the image? Yeah, I did. Okay, so, like, I think this is just always going to be worth it because this is a +2. So what? You have a +2, +3, +4. So Hilde at value is +5. No, 6. Hold on. Yeah, +6. I can count. No, hold on. This is only +2. I'm saying draw 3. This is a +2. Each one of these is a +1. That's 5. I can count. It's been so long since I've had Veronica built out. Right? Because this is just... Okay, well... Also, keep in mind this is a draw to other, which technically is a negative. Get rid of all that. So 1, 2, 3. Yeah, so she's a +1 draw power creep on Veronica at a minimum before we factor in damage. I guess you are paying an extra AP. That's the downside, but whatever, man. Is she better than Cassius and Heidi Marie Cassius, Selena coordinated attack? Oh, absolutely not. So again, without getting too into it, man, this is one of those things where I want to say I want to say something like I'm clip farming, you know, but it's not exactly true. But like, ionization is dog shit. Like, let's be really clear about this really quickly. If the comparison has to stop with Cassius, because when we think about morale and we think about the, you know, plus 300% that we're getting off Cassius, we're getting 3 times the damage, which, well, it's not actually purely 3 times because then you also have to factor in how many hits, whatever. We are getting astronomically more damage with Cassius if we are just looking at this from a buff perspective. And then we also have to accept that ionization in its best build as a support is going to take you 4 full turns to ramp up. Or sorry, let me be even more clear. It's going to take you 4 deck cycles to ramp up versus Cassius, who can get online as soon as turn 2. So as much as I will make the comparison personally, because in my opinion, she does fight for the 3rd slot on a lot of teams, which, to be fair, is going to be Cassius, who, spoiler, also has full house, who is also giving you +3 draw. She doesn't make the cut, guys, for that third draw support. But if you accept that she is going to be someone who you are going to need on a team because of debuffs, because of where Arabella is going to be stacked up, then yes, we would expect, I can't confirm, but we would expect Hilde to be better than Cassius for that particular team. So you have to do like a completely different build than what you would normally... Like, Hilde's build, if you're trying to squeeze out the morale, is not even any of these, right? It's something completely... Like, it's negotiation or whatever, right? Is that stupid card? What is the actual... Oops. It's a neutral, right? It's a stock neutral. Yeah. So you have to do something like this card, right? God damn it. And again, also keep in mind that it is an exhaust, so it does give you the deck thinning, which is, like, fine. But also keep in mind, like, the morale to all enemies doesn't really matter if we factor in things like tower, but also just trying to build a deck and then being like, oh, I'm going to give the enemy, 8 morale, doesn't feel good by comparison. So, like, this is one of those things that there is too many, like, niche build variations to account for that I can't justify making a comment for every single build possibility that she's going to have, other than the most fair and direct comparison that you're going to have for this character is just treating her as the same value as Veronica in all those teams. So again, if we just take this at base value, and we still need to test 0 in damage, keep that in mind. If we just accept at face value that this is a draw 2 support that is going to offer 5 morale for your team, yep, she's better than Veronica, put a stamp on it, the conversation's over, right? Obviously, there's a lot more to that conversation if we're factoring in multi-hit teams, and we're also factoring in things like multi-hit attacks versus multi-hit extra attacks versus extra hit, whatever dots, I guess, right? Depending on how Fracture is going to stack. So there's a lot more to be talked about in that instance. Yeah, Cassius is just that guy, unfortunately. Like, I hate to be the one. Like, I'm pretty sure at this point I have shilled Cassius more than any other person on this damn planet. But Cassius is still an issue, man. I think if... And CZN devs, if you're watching, please ignore this comment. I think if you were to nerf Cassius to put him back into where he belongs, you have to delete Full House. Like, if you delete Full House, Cassius immediately falls back in line as a 4-star. That, like, I do not want that, and I don't mean to speak that into the universe, but that is how you fix Cassius. Yeah, it must have been the wind. Can I delete the bot after? It's just, I think there's a lot of... Actually, does the deck builder show it? I don't even know if it'll show the quest cards, right? No, it won't show the... Can you not pull it up? Can I do it this way? Okay, cool, right? So, there is a whole thing where 111 is still very good in a lot of cases because it does give you the draw. So there is a world where Cassius, even under 111, is going to give you a +3 that also then gives you sustain and a pretty good amount of sustain if we're being honest. But the reality is that with Full House, and you're going to have a lot of cards that cost 0 to help cycle through your deck, Full House is just like, if we were to rank these, right, it's like Full House is triple S tier. Triple one is like, I'll give it like an A plus tier. I won't say S, but like, I don't want to undersell triple one on the other hand, as someone who's used triple one a lot in teams. Like, it does legitimately turn Cassius into a solo sustain. Like, triple one is pretty damn goated. But then if we go into things like straight, which is really hard to activate, and now with the morale cap as well, this is just like dog shit unplayable. And then 000 was already nerfed, so it's dog shit unplayable. So like, I hate to keep going in this direction, but like, guys, 2 of the 4 quests already got nerfed. What's one more, right? That's, I'm gonna get shot out back, bro. What's one more nerf, right? What's one more quest nerf for Cassius? But yeah, it's kind of rough, but no, I for people who haven't used triple one, obviously it's significantly more limiting, and this basically guarantees that you need, what is that, 9 AP every single turn to maximize the value from it. Triple one is still nice to have. No, again, I want to be very, please, God, don't clip this. Please don't. Twitter's already pissed off at me, man. I do not want Full House removed from the game because it is the absolute pin that Cassius is holding on to. Please do not do that to my boy as certified Cassius Shield #1 TM thing, right? Please, most hated content creator speedrun. I am there. But yeah, I think this is like where we have to like pin the conversation of why Cassius is so goated compared to like this ionization. Yeah, Heidi Mari just cheeses triple one, which is hilarious. And also crazy that works that way, but I guess homing arrows don't even count as 0. I was like, oh, but if homing arrows count as 0 cost, then 000 could work for quest completion. Again, not that 000 is great, but you do still care about quest completions because of Cassius's final potential node that gives you the morale, and then you care about quest completion for his E6, which gives morale reduction on the enemy. So there is something to be said about you know, being able to still consistently complete quests for each combatant. Oh yeah, and Fortitude. Thank you. Fortitude's also on quest completion. Don't they count as 0 cost cards because Vero bullets counts? Well, Veronica's Blisses don't count for 000, right? I don't think they do. It's been so long since I used Cassius and Veronica on the same team. I know that they count for activate the lowest cost card because that was an issue back in season 1. I forget when the hell that was. All right, it might just be the lowest cost thing that that had an issue. Oh, what happened here? Oh, that is not supposed to be. Whoop. Actually, do I have room for that on here? Would be 1800. So what? That's like a 2100 buff. What is 60 times 35, man? Maybe I do need that Red Bull. Oh no, it is 2100. I am right. I am gonna add like a small note of, because if it's all one hit, you just accept that it's a 0 in equals 0 in. No, let's do it this way. 0 in at max 2100%. 2100% hit. Whoop. I don't have a good place to put this. Wait. Something like that, I guess. Oh, I guess you're right. We've been cutting the mythic cards so much, I probably need to put it back into the image. Like, this is just always good. I forgot that I was doing, like, the gray out part for a bit there. But no, Vortex Arrow is just very good. And then... Wait, why are we using Sensory Overload in the first one again? Oh yeah, because we get free Fracture, right? Because the combo... Man, why is this limited to 3 times? I mean, I guess it is a 3 Fracture loop, right? Wait, how does... Is Fracture... How does Fracture tick down again? Yeah, so it is exactly like Agony, just a different wording. Because it activates and then kills it by half. So we are at... For 1 turn, draw 3 ability, 100% extra attack to random enemies. So I guess we just get 3 Fracture for free. Damn, does she not have another card? Am I crazy? Oh, wait, I forgot about, dude, I'm so stupid. I forgot about the other build. The Homing Arrow Fracture being her thing. Oh, right, but she does not have extra attack in this build, unless we... Or I guess no, because she won't have draw, right? We have just the 2 draw instances. I feel like if you're running her as a sub DPS, you're just gonna need the extra draw too, unfortunately. Hey, Aspira, how you doing, brother? Yeah, this is our. Unfortunately, we got hit by the extended maintenance. This is my I stay up for 29 hours straight day. So, brother, I love you, dude. Man, I love you, but I don't know that I can ever call you just straight up George. It just does not do it for me. No, so the bonk arrow is just going to be cheeky for may or may not work. Why is the second piece not attack? Oh, I guess it could be if we're doing like the if we're assuming the pure dots for her first build, right? No, I would not mark her as a main DPS. Even the devs have said themselves that she is a sub DPS. Hey, Celadon, welcome on in. Oh, Fracture can crit, right? Yeah. Hold on. Wasn't it like the big thing that they made in the... Okay, I forget where that's at, but I do remember Fracture can crit. Oh no, it crit from the it crit in the Arabella showcase. That's what it was. I would assume it's by your crit rate. Yes, if we are taking them at face value, Hilde is just a power crep Veronica. Oh, ignore the bottom. This is going to be... I have not updated all of this yet, guys. Sorry. Because this is obviously going to be whatever the new chaos is. Also, I just realized this is off-angled, too. What the hell? What the helly? I don't know why this text box is so damn large. No, that does not... Hold on, that's not lined up either. Good enough. But she doesn't have AP generation. All the skills cost 1. Well, Veronica, you do the same thing, right? You still do... Veronica is just the Sir Kolowski draw 2 at Divine cost reduction, right? Like, I know some people do the repose with the Divine this way, but the issue with this is that you still land... Well, I guess with the new Desires, this is actually viable again, isn't it? It's a 30% chance to draw, though. Okay, there is some weird world because of the inquiry changes. You could make Veronica the repose build again for this season. For those of you who don't know what I mean, which one of these is it again? Yeah, so we have this thing over here where Inquiry 5 says when a harmful effect is applied to an enemy, 30% chance to draw 1 time, 3 times per turn. So if we are assuming that we're able to stack up enough negative debuffs, this should be a automatically free +3 that we get for every Desire, heavy disclaimer there, very heavy disclaimer, focus team in Season 4. And that is also why Inquiry 5 is so ungodly giga-busted compared to everything else that we've seen in the preseason. What this does for deck building completely overshadows everything with these other cards. And because the draw 3 that is only for that unit in particular is so overshadowed by this effect, you never want to go to 7. Which means we can then also get free morale from Claim 3, which is also going to be best for our dot builds. So, like, I can't stress enough how insanely busted these two are compared to everything else we've seen so far. So I'm really curious to see where this lands compared to all the rebalancing. Okay, let me ask a very honest question because I stopped doing my Great Rift meta reports a while ago at this point, so I didn't look at anything in Season 3. But I don't remember Repose Veronica like being relevant. And I know like part of that's probably just because of Cassius, but like we have so many other ways to get AP. Actually, wait, doesn't the CZN meta site have that still? I don't know if they keep that legacy information or not. Oh, couldn't you, Oh, here it is. Like, I remember there being a way to filter this. Okay, fair enough. Yeah, you got me. There is actually the reposed AP version being used. Why would you... If it costs 0... I guess this is them just using an older build. Interesting. Like, this was a great example of overdrawing that isn't needed in the list. All right, well, there you go. Also, I do not miss the Mr. Eyeball. Also, if we're being so for real, like the way Tenebrio is shielded so incredibly hard for this. Right? Like we got 1,000,000 points with Mika Ray, for crying out loud. What time CZN maintenance gonna be done? Man, not soon enough. Another hour. Yeah, again, huge shout out to the CZN Metadex people that keep, like, all the different builds. So, like, well, never mind. This, I was just going to say, the Great Rift is great for looking up additional builds that you might have missed out on. But at the same time, this Great Rift in particular is so limited because of the number of cards that you could play that fundamentally changed how you built decks that it's not exactly a fair comparison. But, to that note, Repose AP Veronica goes all the way back to Season 1. So, like, that is still a very, very valid, very real build that has existed previously. But I wouldn't just copy any build in here because of how this idiot worked for his mechanic. Oh, I didn't even know they added something for full-scale offensive, dude. Sick. Bro, is that Owen? Is that my goat, Owen? Hell yeah, bro. Anyways. Getting too distracted with the side conversations now. Oops. Oh my god, reset. Why does this not look right now? Oh, I guess I had the window too big. There we go. Okay, what else we got? Oh, let me update this really quick. 1 more hour. God, it really worries me how many notifications we got. Okay. Am I gonna redo every build in the dock in-game to get the code? Oh, absolutely not. Not to be, like, overly dramatic or anything, but, like, the build guide is kind of cooked at this point. We'll have to see how the desire mechanics ultimately, like, change or not change builds, but there's, at least based on the current information, there's no reason to, like, play old characters. right? Like, there's nothing in here that gives us, like, oh, let's go talk about a Vanguard team. Now, again, there is one more faction or whatever they're called to be revealed. Maybe Survivalist will be the missing piece that we were looking for, but there's still a lot of gaps in terms of not having the same flexibility that Persona cards had for Season 3. And at this point, I know a lot of people have basically just told me to, hey, suck it up, that's gacha games and what have you, so maybe we just have the reality that there is going to be a bad season where it is just the 9 situation all over again, or Season 2. It is what it is, but I will at least appreciate that there's a lot of improvements being made to the game that will make the 1-year anniversary better, where we are hopefully getting in new players. So if it sucks for a season because the payoff at the first anniversary is going to be that much better for everybody, as well as new players joining the game, then sure, man, that's fine. If we are just talking about draw plus damage, yes, Hilde is better. If you need the AP, then Veronica is still going to fill a gap for you. What's my thoughts on all Season 3 characters being all instinct? So, okay, again, I think a lot of people maybe kind of lost the forest through the trees, so to say, on my whole pain point about this. My biggest complaint, well, okay, ignoring desire cards, right? It is what it is. Like, I'm the build guy. My build guide document's probably dead for an entire season. That's its own separate conversation. That's whatever. My main problem with the seasonal being the core unit for a new way to play the game is that unless you play during the very limited 3-week window where she will be available, if you like dot teams or damage over time style of teams, you will not be able to have that gameplay, right? You will be locked out of ever getting to experience dot-based teams until we get a new character down the road. And because of how we know seasons are designed, we can 99% chance guarantee that there will not be a fracture character in Season 5, which means the selector that I'm sure we're going to get for the 1-year anniversary, you will not be able to pick Arabella. If it was anyone else, man, I would not care as much. But, like, everything in the game points to her being the most important part about this the entire season, as well as unlocking a playstyle that players have been asking for since 1.0. And it's just going to be a Giga Feels Bad, right? Serennial kind of sucked because it was the first limited. You missed out. Okay, well, Hidimari, maybe the second seasonal, gave us more of that gameplay. And we've had other multi-hit characters or multi-attack characters since. Like, it's fine. But this is truly the first damage over time focused all-in character that will not have their gameplay style replicated until, I mean, again, let's just assume 9 weeks per season, the 1-year anniversary plus preseason. We are talking about a 12-month gap here, or a minimum of 4 months, right? Or 3 months. Hold on. Yeah, 12 weeks is 3 months. The sleep deprivation is now catching up to me, right? So for 3 months, basically, at minimum, you are saying that if you missed out and if you love damage over time-based teams, you are not allowed to play that team. It just feels bad, man. And, like, Olga, as much as I love Scythe users and as much as I want to hype her up, the more I read her kit, it really does read like she's just going to be a 5-star Tressa, which is fine. That's going to work with Arabella, and that's fine. But Olga is not going to do enough for giving you that damage over time payoff, right? Now, I'm sure there's going to be some world where we can still make it work, because if Olga, I guess, hold on, to go back to the card that people don't know. For those that missed our Season 2 Tressa build, whichever one of these it is again, right? Okay, so Season 2 Tressa, we actually showcased how this was her best attack because the Agony did stack across the team. So if we are under the assumption that Olga is going to have a very similar card, except it's going to cost 1, so it's automatically way better, right? If we assume that Olga has the same type of payoff, then assuming you missed out on the seasonal character for whatever reason, Tressa is probably still going to be the second best character for that team because she can easily stack up Agony, which then becomes a factor of, okay, who's going to be the third character? We'll have to wait and see. But if we assume that Olga will have something very similar, because again, based on this wording, an offensive-focused supporter who enhances the damage over time effect of her allies through the debuff and can activate Agony and Fracture that she herself applies to the enemy, which is the same exact wording as this, right? So we have to assume that there's going to be some payoff here that will still technically work with Tressa. Yeah, the fact that Olga gets double the dots is a huge, huge plus for sure. But right, the thing to factor in for Tressa is if Agony stacking is going to be as important as we are led to believe it's going to be, even if she does only count her own stacks of Agony for her effect, we do know there is a precedent for things like Vital Attack to count the total amount of Agony on a target. So very easily, we could just, and I wouldn't do this build in particular, right? But boop, boop. Let's assume that we have enough draw, right? So you could very easily make a Tressa build like this that is going to generate... okay, fine. Let me do the full thing so people actually... nope, this one. Oh, my God. It would be that. It would be... Where are you? Yeah, because this... I guess the base... Oh, I just remember that Shadow Daggers are getting buffed, so you probably don't need to do the advanced Shadow Dagger loop anymore, actually. This, you probably don't even need this card at all, actually, with the changes. And I don't think she had a different version. Yeah. Okay, let's pretend this is relevant. Right? So you could do something like this. No, we're not. We'll just get rid of it, right? You could do something like this, where there is, what? So it's all getting activated to 2 Agony, so you're now at 3 Agony per card. So this is 18 Agony for Tressa alone out of the 20 cap, right? So it's going to be very easy for us to slot in like a Desire card because Inquiry and Claim can give us more Agony. There's a lot of ways where we can get that last 2 Agony and not care about it. And now you have an AP positive support who's giving you a free 20 stacks of Agony. Right? Cool. Great. I don't know what the third character is going to be yet, though. I know, like, there's 3 things that are guaranteed in life, right? Death and taxes, or I guess that's 4 things, right? Death and taxes, me doing an OTK build and forcing it on some new combatant, and then me doing a Tressa build for a new season. So that is what we can definitely bank on to be kind of where this is going. Yeah, I'm sure that we're going to see something like Crimson Sword, right? Oh, I can unpin this now. I have too many of these windows open. Just because I know it's been so long since we actually ever cared about this card, I would assume that there's going to be some either upgraded version of Crimson Sword itself to give more Agony, or we'll see something for Fracture, because Fracture is 30. Right? Right? No, it's on this one. Yeah, 30. Man. Morale is 20. Fracture is 30. Scorched is 10. God, it's gonna kill me. But yeah, I'm still most excited to see where Fracture ends up by the end of the season. Hey, welcome on in. Also, hey, we've been streaming for a little while, so this is going to be your hydration reminder. If you've been here first since the start of the stream, make sure you got some water. Make sure you're staying hydrated out there. If you haven't already, please make sure to take care of your medication or take care of yourselves. Have you eaten today? Have you taken care of yourself? If you had a snack, go do that if you haven't already. Drink your water. Be careful. Okay, man, I kind of want coffee now that I said that. Boy, howdy, there's a lot of... Ooh, I have to translate that one. Okay, also, I guess maybe quick disclaimer. If you guys ever see me tweet about something like this, where it's just like a one-off image, please just assume that this is a meme or not to be taken at face value. For anything build related that I do personally, please always reference these instead or the Google Documents. This is meant to be, you know, more cheeky comments. Because I'm starting to realize that I'm not allowed to make off comments like this if people are going to bookmark this as much as they are. Like, I think this is still fine, like, higher level, but one, there's things to test, and two, you know, there's a larger conversation to be had, so... Sorry, I apologize in advance for shit posting on Twitter. It will happen again. Oh shit, do they actually do it? Oh, hell yeah, dude. Hell yeah. Okay, hold on. So this got buried in my notifications because everyone's still yelling at me for my season 4 stuff. Where is my... Oh, it was tweeted right after the summer update. Okay, cool. So for all the shit that I was tweeting about from Anime Expo, it looks like they actually opened up a... they opened up the merch store. So all the cool stuff that was at Anime Expo that I tweeted about or I did the giveaway on, it says global shipping, so I will have to like go back and look, but all of the stuff from Anime Expo looks to be available, and I literally have this Chizuru mat on my desk right now. And I showcased off like the acrylic stand. Do they have like the big acrylic stands? No, it doesn't look like they do. Damn. Okay, so it's not... So it's not everything that Animate had, it looks like. There's still a lot of stuff here, though. Wait, that's the bigger stand, actually. Didn't I pay way more than 12 bucks for this? This is the... Okay, yeah, this is the one that I'm thinking of. Well, dang. But yeah, so, like, I got my... I guess you're not gonna be able to see it because I can't, like, lift it high enough because my literal day job work stuff is on it, but here's my Chizuru mat as reference that I have it right next to me. And actually, let me go grab my... I'll grab the Narja statue real quick. Drop it. Where is... Nope. There we go. So, like, I showed this off on the previous streams, but, like, it's actually... Oh my god, I can't do this backwards. Like, for 12 bucks, this is actually a really good size in, like, combo and stuff, right? Like, you know, I don't know what size hand I have, like, but it's about as big as my hand. I swear this was more expensive than that, but... you know, if you have standees for other stuff, like, I'm pretty sure I paid 25 for this if I'm not confusing it with the other one. It's plastic, like, I don't, there's your ASMR for the stream, I guess, just what have you. But yeah, like it's actually, you know, for 12 bucks, again, plus shipping, what have you, is really, really solid, surprisingly. But yeah, so I will say the thing, okay, let me see if they have, do they have a shirt in my fat ass size? Nope. Man. So the one thing I was really upset about is that I missed out on the shirts, because I really wanted the Heidi Mari shirt. Actually, I like both of them, man. Anyways, I wear a 2X, and they did not have my shirts in size, or my size. They did not have my size in the shirts. There we go. Shipping is 50 bucks. Oh god. Well, I mean, the shipping is going to depend on where you are, I guess, but damn, that's rough. But yeah, I thought these were really cute. So, I guess check. Well, I guess we can just check together really quick. Anna Mate. Chaos Zero Nightmare. Oops. Chaos Zero Nightmare. Oh shit, new Grand Blue Fantasy merch. Okay, sorry, I got distracted. Cute. Damn. They got a huge ass a huge ass fa standee, which would be nice. I'd have to go digging to see if they have other stuff available. But yeah, shout out to Relink. Oh, they have Bubs as well. Bubs with his Conqueror's armor, which is sick. But yeah, shipping sucks. I can't say much about that because obviously it's different for everybody, and also I would assume that there'll be more options in the, I guess what, oh no, because the next game show that they're probably going to be at is Tokyo Game Show, right? Which again, I would love to go to. You guys might have saw it, but I did get one sponsorship lined up that I published earlier today, so obviously I have to lose 30% of that because I have to pay taxes back at the end of the year. But I am still trying to find a way to go to Tokyo Game Show. That's like still a priority for me, but we will see if I get my graded card from Riftbound back in time, and so I can sell that because that shit's too expensive to go otherwise. So we'll have to wait and see. I am gonna go grab another coffee though really quickly. So I will say, if you haven't, hey, go hydrate. And I will be right back in just a second while I take care of my Red Bull. And how much time do we got? Oh, we still got like 40 minutes. So we definitely have a little bit of time. So be right back in just a second. So yeah, more merch, more opportunities with Tokyo Game Show, and maybe we'll see because that's September. We might see more of like season 4 focus characters. Like they obviously gotta have some type of physical merch for Bella, right? Like there's no way that they're gonna do these types of designs and not have merch for her, man. She is just the most sellable thing in the world. So most likely Tokyo Game Show will be possible. But yeah, so the other part that I was gonna say about shipping is that I can also personally relate because someone from Europe, I guess I'll just say it that way. I don't want to be too specific, but someone from Europe won the giveaway, and you know, at first I was gonna make it North America only because I didn't want to pay insane shipping costs to get something out, but someone from Europe won it, and I'm like, you know what, screw it, I'll just eat the shipping costs. You know, I understand that this is not just a North American based game, right? But it was $60 to ship it out, which is a lot. You know, in relevance to where things are at with CZN videos or what have you, $60 is a significant amount of money for how the channel's been otherwise. Have I ditched Mongol? Yeah, I was waiting for the summer update to see how like the whole Monsterling part came out, but admittedly, I just haven't had a lot of time because we've gotten some really big updates for Grand Blue Fantasy, and I actually finished one of my like year-long. It's taken me like 2 years to grind this other thing out, so I've just been busy catching up on Grand Blue Fantasy again because it's something that Bree and I play together. Which, there's actually almost enough time I probably could do a Foss solo. But yeah, we just got brand new raids in Grand Blue Fantasy as well that are starting. So like, Grand Blue Fantasy content is really gonna start picking up here again too. Actually, that reminds me, I wanted to check when the next story update was. Did we ever update the tier list? They gave us like an ungodly broken free-to-play character, by the way, for the collab. Who is not here yet. Shout out to Osiris, though. How was Relink? Oh, we loved it. Unfortunately, I need to go back and I almost forgot about Relink. That is why I was also so busy, because we basically just took 2.5 weeks to go play Relink and unplug for a bit. But unfortunately, Bree got super sick, so that did delay us playing quite a bit. I got up to an Infinity Quest, which we are still going to play at some point, and Bree is on the Hexa fight. So we have to get her through the final fight of the story at some point, but I'm hoping we can do that this weekend. But last weekend was Riftbound pre-release as well. I also had the promotion thing that took up a lot of time because, again, I don't do this. You know, I don't do this full time. I have my full-time job as well. So like anytime that I'm doing something outside of what is normally stream time, that's just extra time. And anytime there's like sponsorships, you have to go through rounds of revisions, script reviews, pre-published reviews, and there's so much like just back and forth that happens that it did take extra time that I was just not planning about. Oh yeah, I haven't even looked at the summon for the uncap effect. Oh, he's Summer Tyra. I get it. Yeah. Instant charge attack standby to light allies after 3 turns. That is pretty sick. Also, can we just like appreciate the artwork? Like that's the thing I always go back to for Grand Blue Fantasy, and I absolutely love their art direction. Cygames just kills it on the artwork all the time. But yeah, she's again, I am not a light primal main, so I really don't have like a super built out opinion on her, but it was really funny, and not funny as someone who just like lost out largely on the Full Metal Alchemist collab, to like wake up to Japan Twitter just like freaking out on how good this character is. So I'm like, damn dude, I guess light main's got all the victory laps. And then, of course, the water unit sucks, but I also got the water unit in, like, the first 10 pulls, so it's, like, kind of annoying. I really lost out big time on the Full Metal Alchemist collab. Oh, you know what? Why don't we just do a solo run while we're at it? What time is it? We have 30 minutes, hopefully. Well, I can't do a full run in 30 minutes. Oh my god, where is Stove? Yeah, totally not going to get extended again, right, guys? So I totally forgot to mention the other reason why I've been so busy. Oh, sure. Is that they added a new game mode, which I actually think is super cool. Let me click through all my daily shit really quick. Did the banner swap over yet? No, it's still wind. I'm going to save my pull until it rotates to light. I will not be baited. They added a new game mode, which is actually a roguelike, and is pretty fun if you like a challenge. So the whole thing is that, like, there is, you can basically treat this like Sortie, where there is battles, there's treasure modes, there's events that you can run into, there is special events around the stages, like, and your whole goal is to basically survive. Now, unfortunately, I am very bad at this game mode because my Earth team that I'm trying to work on is, just not good. But it is very much a, like, it's a skill issue. It's just like, what, as I'm going to call it, like it is. Definitely a skill issue on my side for pathing and trying to make adjustments. But early on, the meta is like, look for events and look for treasure chests. So, it, like, I guess I go this way. I don't like burning a health node early. But there's one dead space this way. Or I guess if we count this as a dead space, it's even if I go this way. So I guess we're going to go up one and then down. And then, so each one of these, I guess let me bring this up a little bit. In each one of these, you'll also get, like, you know, random events that happen. So I can choose, in each one of these, take a turn. So this is a turn limit-based mode, and that will make sense here in a minute. But generally, I can either pay to get more coins, so just like Sortie, you get more purchasing power, or I can get a free upgrade as well as coins, but I lose health. So very long story short, instead of things like memory fragments, we have a weapon grid, and the weapon grid is how you get stronger, in Grand Blue Fantasy. So I am going to speed run this a little bit because I know what most of these events are. I guess where is the nearest treasure chest? Oh, cool. That goes exactly where we want to go. Sometimes this free teleport can absolutely grief your run if you're not paying attention. And then here we go. So in this game mode, you're like Sortie, where you're adding cards to your deck or adding effects like Fates to get stronger. We have something called a guidebook, which is just a long list of buffs that we can get. This one is pretty good because it's going to boost all of our characters by a pretty significant amount once I unlock the Bahamut Coda. Or I guess that one was weapon types, not character types. So for me personally, I'm using Pengi here because she has a ability on her S3 or skill 3 that gives her free attack damage. So it's a way to like cheese the early attack damage on a enemy's health, because your main goal in this game mode is to kill everything in one turn. Again, similar like Sortie, you want to kill everything in one turn so you don't take damage. In this game, there's also the taking damage aspect, as well as not wanting to die to the miasma, which will be creeping in very, very soon. So oh god, it's been a minute since I've done this. I think I have enough damage. Oh, he didn't triple attack. Are you kidding me? No. Am I tripping? Are there random Bleach characters showing up in Grand Blue loading screen? Yes. There is a Bleach collab going on right now. Where can I get a screenshot of the Hilde infographic you have on screen right now? I will tweet this out tomorrow, as well as put it in the Discord, but I will put out the final so again, for those who don't know, this is our like day one build impressions infographic, and then in the actual Google document I will have the like final version of her builds. That is how I always approach it, because if people were to wait for my final builds, they just probably wouldn't play the character at all, or just copy the wrong card. So I always try to do like a day one thing to like help guide the conversation of how you might want to build her. So much like buffs, there is also permanent debuffs that you can get that you'll want to figure out how you're getting rid of them. Oh god, this is okay, minus 30 coins per battle is definitely not good. All right, guys, we got a 50-50 chance of it being a benefit. Let's see what happens. There we go. Oh, Jesus. Okay. So the gold is obviously a good guidebook. So this is one of the best buffs that we can get. So we went from one of the worst builds in the game, or one of the worst buffs in the game, to one of the best buffs in the game. How do you even play Hilde without Big Titty Redhead? Great question. So as you can see, the miasma is starting to creep in from the sides, and if you are outside of this protective ring, you will take a significant dot every turn. What's this mode called again? It's like Solomonis, I think is the name of it. I forget what the full name of this is, but it's all based on the evokers. It's how you get the transcendence for your evokers. So I did finish Maria Teresa already, but this Idiot Came has been my biggest barrier so far. All right, we have the wrong elemental advantage type here, so we do have to burn our summon. And that's why the Beelzebub summon is super goated. So there is a buff in this game to count all party members as all character types. So actually all of these are good. I just don't know how many more event spaces we're going to be hitting for money, because there's like a lot of battles over here. Yeah, I don't think we can actually utilize this one, which is normally really good. I'm going to take the amp damage because we are looking for a very particular guidebook. Okay, well, the game is just having a little bit of a laugh. I guess we go this way then. I guess the game's having a little bit of a laugh with me. There is also, like, super bosses that you can fight in this game mode that are going to give you a lot more rewards. But your run has to be going very... They're called rulers, and there's one ruler in each zone. And if you beat them, you get, again, shit ton of rewards, but your run has got to be going pretty damn good to make up for it. We'll try to re-roll healing specs, I guess. It's a gold buff, but it's not necessarily a good one. We are currently playing Grand Blue Fantasy. They just had, in my opinion, one of the largest updates that they've done since I've been playing the game for a few years, and introduced this new, completely new roguelike mode. Okay, so now I'm going to start taking damage. So my guys are at 60% health. I'm going to go to this node and probably take damage upon exiting. Oh, I hit the wrong button. I hit the wrong button. Okay, so there's the damage that we took. And there's no way in hell I can beat that guy, so we're going to run away from the fight, and now we're going to be in the safe zone again. Yeah, we do need to add party members, but I don't think our cooldown is up yet. Okay, it is. This is very much a game mode where you have to know exactly how strong your team is as well. But my my MC is going to be doing a double charge attack here, which is going to just do bonkers damage. Yeah, so it'll kill him at the end of the turn. So another battle, we get just a free damage amp, which is really good, and we are now also going to get a party member added to our team. So the one thing I will say is what's interesting about this game mode is that even if you're a newer player and you might only have a bunch of SRs, there is a buff in the game that says, hey, if you make a team of all SRs, you get, like, I think it's 100% damage amp, which is a pretty significant amount. Now, the kits of SRs are not going to be as, you know, fleshed out or as good as the SSRs. So yes, there is a balancing thing that is happening there, but it's really cool that they've even thought about, like, that side of it. I don't see Medusa, so Dagger Spear is really bad. And you can see up here they're broken down by what type of weapons they use. Yeah, this is not... We're going to grab her because she's a backliner, so there's 5 characters on a team. Not really great for us. Now, keep in mind, we do have a book that says we want to go towards a bunch of event nodes. So I'm going to make a little bit of an awkward pathing choice because these battles do look pretty good, but I know we're going to need some more money for a shop. Well, I guess we got the money buff for both now, which is kind of unfortunate because... this event is really difficult because it takes 7 turns to sometimes give you a good buff. Oh, I just realized the shop's all the way up here. I don't think we can even get to the shop. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, so we basically have to give up this node so that we can go to the shop to try to buy something else. So, very unlucky on pathing here. We should be able to kill this guy in 1 turn, so I'd rather just beat him up than pay gold for it. Oop, wrong character. Ah, well. Not what I meant to do. Yeah, again, the reason why we have her as one of our defaults is because her S3, as you're watching it play out, is super good because this is not going to take up it doesn't extend our turn, so we get the full value of not having the miasma chase us down. Oh, nice. And sometimes when you clear a battle, you also get a... Ooh, you also get a free character out of it. So now we have another free roll to hopefully get somebody good. Oh, there's Medusa. Grand Medusa is one of the best Earth units for this entire mode, so we are very happy to get her picked up here. And so in this node in particular, you can just see that he gave us a treasure. So this treasure is used as a special unlock during a different fight on the map. So there's a bunch of random events that work together like that for bigger and better payoffs, basically. No, I think it's worth one extra spacing to go this way because we do want the event. Yep, that's what I was afraid of. So this event is basically just gambling to see if you want the coins, but I am going to not try to get the top end. So now you can see that this ring of protection is gone, and instead there's a ruler right here, which got spawned. So this entire ring is going to start closing in and forcing us to go here. Now the downside is the opposite corner is going to shrink a lot faster than this corner. So unfortunately, we kind of got screwed over because I don't think we can make it to this shop now. So basically, we lost out on this event and don't have anything to show for it, which is really unfortunate. And going down here to this shop would cause us to lose too much health. Okay, damn. Yeah, this is pretty much like the worst outcome possible. I do believe that this means we have auto lost this run. Oh, I forgot to bring in Medusa, my bad. I guess we'll burn out this character's effects, since I'm gonna swap route anyways. And for the sake of time, I'm just gonna refresh because we should have more than enough damage to kill him. Nice, there we go. We got this is the buff that I was talking about that makes Grand Medusa just absolutely broken in this game mode. There's not even, like, I guess the best outcome is actually going this way to try to curve back here. So 1, 2, 3. Yeah, it looks like we would have just... It looks like the miasma would have hit us right here, which means as we're running back, we likely would have got trapped by the miasma and just died of damage over time. Super bummer, man. His effect is really important. But I don't think I can afford a random KO here. Actually, we can revive here and not take too much damage, hopefully. So you know what? We're going to gamble. I think this run's already pretty screwed, so we're going to gamble it and see what happens. I'm going to greed this for 1 square just to get the event in case it's a revive. It's not. This is a powerful node, so we can freely run away from it. Normally, you want to kill these guys, but because we did not get a shop early, we're kind of just screwed. Yeah, this is going to hurt. So, notably, this will give us the revive up to 31. I think we should just be able to live here. Okay, yep. So now because we have the auto revive, when Pengi dies going into the boss, we should be fine. As long as we can kill this in one turn, we can. We're fine. So the gamble paid off. We're still way weaker than we would want to be going into the first boss, but I think because we have the auto revive, we should be able to clear it. Actually, it looks like we can gamble one more space. The miasma should not close in on this square. Yep, I was right. So now we get one more chance at, like, a free guidebook, a free buff, a free weapon unlock. You can get a lot of stuff from the normal battle nodes. All right, so free guidebook. We're going to take an amp on normal attack damage. Okay, so now we are halfway through, which means, again, you can see up here that 55 turns have progressed. Normally, it's like a 100-turn mode. So we're going to fight the first boss. Again, not necessarily looking great for us. Of course, we also... God damn it. We also get the hardest boss. Man. All right. So this boss has a debuff that we are not allowed to use 4 skills in a turn. So now, even though I have a bunch of other effects that I'd want to do, because we're doing a lot of normal attack-based damage, we unfortunately are just forced to attack here before actually getting up like the rest of our buffs. So we're going to go ahead and power this up. Manix? Oh, don't. Y'all don't say that. Are you so serious? What would that be? That would be 3, that'd be 5 a.m. I can't even... Sorry, I'm just trying to think, like, what time my first call in the morning is at again. No, I think we gotta go to. I gotta go to sleep, guys. Yeah. All right, let's finish this boss, and then we're gonna wrap things up. Let's see if I can speed run this boss, I guess. Also, another reason why Medusa is so good here is that she has, like, an auto clear on one of this boss's effects. Bree just woke up. Hopefully she's feeling okay. Bree usually never wakes up in the middle of the night. She sleeps like a rock. What are we doing here? Oh, I can't copy that one. That's right. Hit with skills 20 times. We are a little bit delayed on, unfortunately. Potion doesn't do anything for us. Yeah, because I'm pretty sure the other effects don't count towards this. Oh, Pengi counts, but it counts as a single hit instead. Yeah, that doesn't do anything for us. And Medusa has 2 turns for her cooldown, so she's not going to be back online. So the other reason why Medusa is great is because she has a seal mechanic, meaning the boss does not act for a turn. So it's a way to give you an extra turn to deal with whatever they are doing. So the good news here is that MC does have skill-based damage, so we are able to cheese this a little bit. Oh, I guess I forgot to do the recharge ability. But I don't think we're going to have enough hits otherwise here. So we're still short on damage, which means he's going to hit us because we weren't able... They're called omens or challenges that you have to clear. So unfortunately, because we don't have anything here, we're going to just take his full damage and he's going to kill somebody on our team. Or kills our entire team. But we do have auto revive. And because we did not clear the challenge, he just turned off all of our skills too. So unfortunately, we're just cooked here. So I'm just gonna burn a bunch of her skills. We're gonna get that heavy debuff, which means we don't get any of our multi attacks. But I think we are just dead. I guess MC still has his revive. And now we get to activate Bubs. I forget which one is the debuff. Reflect is super annoying. All right, nope, we're dead. So there you go. There's a quick look at the game mode and me dying to this absolute bastard of a boss that is like the run ender in this game mode. So at the end of every expedition, you do get a bunch of rewards that you would normally be farming anyways. So the other thing that I really like about it is that once you get really good at this game mode, it is a much better way to farm for the evokers and like the stuff that they need compared to a Karam. So yes, it's still a grind. Like, yeah, you still have to like play the game mode, but much like Sortie for CZN gave us the black mass to make save data editing a little bit better. This biggest update in Grand Blue Fantasy did make farming for the evokers a little bit better, but also the rewards that you can get from it if you actually clear are really, really good. And so just in any other good rogue-like mode, you do have blessings that you upgrade over time, so you do get stronger. And as you get more levels, you get more HP and more attack. So it gets easier the more it clears and the longer you play the game. So this is something that will be updated a lot over the next year. So this is something that will, you know, eventually scale to a relevant point. But that is going to do it because the maintenance got extended. Let me just make a screenshot of this before I forget. Now, the good thing is, I will say, is that because I can play on my phone, and because, for those that don't know, I work in tech, and for my job, I'm more of a, never mind, don't want to say that much. I have a lot of not free time. I have a lot of flexible time with my day job. I guess I'll say it that way. So I usually can find like 30 minutes several times throughout the day while I'm like waiting on an update for something to play CZN. So it's really easy for me to like play something, you know, and then tweet out something. Like, I got a really weird ass comment on Twitter about like, someone was like, oh, you're doing anything but working. I'm like, yeah, dude, sorry, I'm an old man with a salary office job who can, if I complete my responsibilities for the day, spoiler, I still have to sit on my ass for 3 hours doing nothing while I'm waiting for other people to get back to me, right? It doesn't always work that way. There's usually other like backlog stuff that I can do. But legitimately, there are some times where I just have 8 hours that I just don't have stuff planned or don't have to do stuff because I already have so many things that I'm waiting on, and just I sit there and twiddle my thumbs, right? Sorry that I want to play gacha games while I'm getting paid for it if I can, right? If all my responsibilities are done and I'm waiting for clients to get back to me, dude, I'm not making more work for myself. Sorry, I've worked hard enough to get to where I am in life. I enjoy the comfy office job now at this point. Yeah, and look, I get it. I don't always frame shit the best on Twitter, or I get stuff wrong that I have to own up to later. That happens. But people are the weirdest about other shit, man. Okay, so what else do we got? I don't know. Okay, so let's, before we wrap, let me think about I need a new tab. Season 4 testing. Not priority testing. I don't know. So we need a test. How does damage scale? Scale damage. I am too lazy to fix all of this. Where is the multi-hit card? Capped at 300% per or total. What other questions do you guys have? Or what other questions have I forgot about? I guess we gotta update the gear requirement. Update gear priority. Oh, I gotta do the season 4 guide, right? At minimum. I gotta do the season 4 guide video. Once all the changes are confirmed. Desire guide video. All right. My text bars are way too long. Synergy with Serenial? In terms of like extra on hits, sure. Yeah, we're definitely gonna be calling it here, and I'm just gonna go to sleep again, I guess. I'm just trying to make sure that I address all the questions that came up during the stream, and I'm trying to remember what else I forgot about. Because if I go to sleep, I'm not going to remember shit, guys. I'll be very honest. So if you had other questions or other things that you wanted me to test while I'm at work tomorrow, let me know. I think all of this is still fine, though. Oh, yeah. I got to check if this one is... per event or per debuff. This one is relevant because of that one weird-ass control card. right? Because this says when a harmful effect is applied. So if this counts as, what is that? 7 triggers. So if this one card gives us, what is that? 35? Yeah, 35 zero in. That would be insane. Now, again, I doubt it, but whatever. Maybe this one card caps out 0 in and then it's busted, right? Sure. Again, keeping in mind that this one is going to be psionic and controller locked. So that obviously changes the viability of it. Because this card is automatically fighting against the inquiry ones to either draw or to be straight buffs otherwise. God, I think that's everything that we talked about. And then the Yuki build will either be its own video or it'll be something later, which is fine. Well, here's the thing. If maintenance gets extended, we all get more gems, right? So I'm going to knock on wood because I don't want to inconvenience other people who may have already taken time off to play the update or what have you. But I would not be upset if maintenance goes down for an extended time, then we get Apollo gems again. Oh, hold on. Let me pull up the tweet. That is definitely a tweet of all time. Okay, sorry. Yes, it also kills the hype. I will definitely agree with that as well. So, I guess if y'all have anything else that you think about that we want to test or debug or whatever, tweet at me, join the Discord, however you want to get a hold of me. I do read every tweet, every update, every YouTube post. Unless I get too tied up with work and then the notifications go too long. But as I just mentioned, I do have pockets of downtime, so it's relatively easy for me to get back to people. But I will say I maybe tweeted too much today. I yapped a little bit, a little too much on Twitter today. So my notifications broke, and I definitely missed a lot. But that's going to do it for now because I'm going to go sleep for 4 hours, I guess. Because 4 hours of sleep is better than 0 hours of sleep. Is full DPS available? Okay. Oh, that's what we forgot. Because that means you have to go fracture, right? Okay, that's one more thing to consider, like AoE versus single target builds. Thank you. That was the thing that I forgot. Single. Actually, didn't I put that in my infographic? I thought I added, okay, yeah, I did put it up here. AoE versus single target in terms of how you approach these. Because what? 4 humming arrows would be 480% value versus the 1. That's like 12. Yeah, because... Okay, yeah, because if we copy regular homing arrow, we're getting 12 in the deck. So she becomes a 120 times 12 based attacker, which is equivalent to like one of Luke's abilities. That's actually really low damage, isn't it? I'll have to think about that a little bit more, but Yeah, that okay, so that's gonna be a little bit harder to answer because quick reload is only giving you 120 times 4, I guess. Like, we can make that work. I guess it gets around elasticity would be the argument, right? Is that you never have to worry about elasticity with her. Do I have a Tenebria guide? I'm a new player. I do have a video out, but we also have a build guide that I would recommend people bookmark. Right, we have this build guide project that I'll just put in chat really quick. But yes, oh, do I delete this now? I think I probably delete this now that it's not relevant for Great Rift. We used to. I don't know. I don't remember if I made one or not for this, but you are right that I should make one. Okay, let me think about this again because I would want to times 4 times 3. I mean, it would have to be Cassius again. So the awkward part about Hilde is, like, no matter what happens today, remember that Hilde, based on her kit, is going to be designed to be either a sub DPS or draw support because of how the kits are going to interact with either Arabella or how they're going to interact with Olga. So you might build something just to build it for the first part of the season, but it's not what you're going to want for her long-term anyways, if that makes sense, right? Like, yes, we can do a Narja DPS build, which I did technically clear tower with, but is that really ideal compared to where she's going to fit better if you lean into how her kit naturally wants to progress, right? So I am putting together like how she fits as a sub DPS, which is going to be this build itself because we do care about fracture stacks with Arabella, but we'll have to wait and see what that looks like long term. So, all right, that said, I'm gonna go brush my teeth, go to sleep for 4 hours, probably 3.5 hours by the time I actually lay down and whatnot. So, thanks for being here. Again, make sure to stay hydrated, my friends. Take care of yourselves. Hopefully we will be back online in the morning for the game not getting like giga extended maintenance. For me, again, personally, I have work, so I will try to test some stuff offline. I'll try to record a video after work before going live again because I do want to do my day 1 build stuff. But at this point, I need to just sleep. There's no point in me staying up when it's been extended this many times already. So, unfortunately, I wish I would have just slept like Sue. I think Stu said he's going to just be sleeping now instead of staying up all night, but we'll see. So, as always, thank you everybody for being here. Please still look forward to Season 4. Again, no matter what, I am super excited for this season because I've been waiting so long for a full dot team to finally be viable. And it is finally here and it is finally happening. Now, yes, we're going to have to wait until part 2 to get the full... Oh, did Sue stay up? Oh, damn. I will, actually, let's go give him a raid then. Hold on. Let me, where's my... Where is my Twitch window? I got too many damn tabs open again. Oh, yeah, he's gonna be playing, yeah, he's probably gonna be filling the time with Epic 7. Okay, let's go give a shout out. If you're on Twitch, let's go. There we go. If you're on Twitch, let's go say hi to Sue. But everyone else, let's be excited for Damage Over Time teams. I am. We'll see how it all works out. But otherwise, make sure to stay hydrated, my friends. Stay safe, and we'll see you next time. Cheers.